Hello, good evening. Welcome to this little impromptu live stream. I wanted to take a few minutes and well, maybe more than a few minutes. I want to show you my summer classes. I want to show you everything that's in them. And if you're online and you've ordered a box, I want to show you everything that's in the box. And I want you to be able to see all the quality and how educational it is, how beautiful it is. I've really poured a lot into this. And so I just want to share all of it with you tonight as much as I possibly can. I'm shipping out boxes hopefully tomorrow. And I can still ship some boxes out. We'll just hope that USPS gets them to you on time if you register tonight. You should see the link in the description of this video. If not, just go to my website, RebeccaFinch.com. It's right there on the homepage. So this summer, I'm teaching 8 classes. They will run from July to August. The week after the 4th will start. In person is July 9th. I'm sorry. Online is July 9th. In person is July 10th. And then we will go on through August. So I'll just show you what we're doing. So it's called Mini Impressionist Museums. And the kids are going to literally build themselves a museum. So here's the size of it. Some of my walls are attached, some are not. So they have a lot of space to work with. Now, if you're ordering online, because I have to fit everything in a box, they're going to get half of this. Not half. They're going to get it in 2 pieces. They'll have 2 floors, but it will be just about this size. I think I have to make it a little bit smaller for the box or the paper. I can't remember. So yours will probably be this size eventually. You can put them side by side, or you could have a second story if you want. So this is my museum. Eventually, I'm going to attach this. And then I've got a couple other walls. So the kids are going to have a lot of fun creating this. And at the same time, they're working on their little museums. We are learning about Impressionist art. So we're going to be going through several Impressionist artists, looking at their work, learning about their lives. We are also going to be looking at specific museums around the world. The Louvre, Philadelphia Museum of Art, and a couple others, and analyzing their layouts and different ways that they can give their visitors the experience in their museum, just kind of dream about what they can do with their museum. So I'm going to switch my camera, and we're going to go through all the handouts, which will walk you through all of the lessons, and then I'll tell you what we're doing for each artwork. And then I'll show you all the goodies in the box. I've got all this stuff right here that you can't see. So I will show you in just a second. All right. So in the box, and my in-person classes will get their own little binder so that they can keep all their handouts together in one place. They'll have their name on it. It's really pretty. And everything will go in here. I'm going to show you. I have a welcome for the parents, to kind of just orient you. Let me change this here. Maybe? Sure. Okay. To orient you to what's inside the box, what to look for and all that. I have lesson plans. So this will outline every lesson. My goal is, in addition to teach your kids, my goal is to make this super easy for parents. I want this to be open it up. You don't have to figure much out. And I've done as much as I possibly can to make it as easy as possible for you. So you open it, you just read some instructions, and your child can just go. Now, if you're online, you will be making the museum together. But again, I've got instructions for that to try to make it as easy as possible, the smoothest way to do this. So you're going to have each lesson. I'm going to tell you what we're doing, what you'll need out of the box. And then there are some little household things like scissors and a glue gun and pencil, eraser, things like that that you'll need each week that you should have. Trying to think, the only thing you might not have, yeah, Elmer's glue, scissors, foil. We'll need foil for one of them, but you'll have plenty of time because I'm giving you the whole list. And then if there's anything that you need to do between classes, like now you can start working on the museums, although there's no rush. And then Yeah. So I want everything super spelled out for you. I also, because of my students, looked up some museums near them that they can visit in person that have the artists in their museums near their house that they can go see the artwork. So some of these places have a Monet, and we're going to be looking at Monet's paintings. So let me move that. So it's really exciting when the kids learn about some art, and then they go and see it in person. It feels like you're seeing a celebrity. So I want to provide that. So if someone else joins online and you're not in Florida or Ohio, I will look some things up and try to find a museum near you. I will give you instructions for building the museum. I've got pictures and I've laid it all out for you. How to do the papering, how to do the walls, etc. This is a grid that your child can use to lay out their museum. Each square represents an inch, so when they draw their museum out, it'll be easy for you to measure the walls and cut them. The wall height, I've already done for you, and you just have to do the length, and that will make it easy for them to figure out what they want to do and easy for you to cut the things. Shrinky-dink instructions, not that I don't know. Some people don't even know what they are. They're the paper that you color on, and then you put them in the oven, and they shrink up. And you can make them look like glass. So we're going to use those for the stained glass. So I've got all the instructions out here to try to make it easy on you. Lesson 1, we're going to start with Impressionism. So we're learning about this art movement. It's important to know why it happened. We're going to talk about that, what came before it, and that the artists were kind of just wanting to break away from this really tight and polished and dark type of painting. Very tight detail, every little thing is there, and the brush strokes are really smooth. Impressionism broke away from that. There were a few movements in between this style of painting, realism and all that brought us into Impressionism, but that's where just the height of this style came to be. So we're going to talk about why this came to be, and then the people who were in on it, and how they came to be called Impressionists, how they broke out of the regimented art academy salon structure that they were under for so long, and how to identify Impressionist art and what qualities it has. And then our first artist, not a shock, Monet, of course. Probably one of the most popular Impressionist artists. So you get to see some pictures of him in his studio and about his life, his garden, and the painting that kind of started it all in a way. It was the reason that they were called the Impressionists, and it wasn't a compliment at the time. I'll leave it at that. I gotta leave some juicy details for the kids. So we look at a lot of his beautiful work and talk about it and analyze it. And then the kids are going to make their own little miniature artwork. This is a guide for them to look off of. And then I have some nice thick paper that they will use oil pastels and paint with oil pastels on here. And then they can look off of here to see. I've got it grayed out so they don't have to worry about the drawing of it. They can just color on top of this. And then I have these gorgeous gold frames, and then they will cut their painting out and be able to frame their paintings. So that is lesson 1. Oh, and when we have more, there's a lot that I want to cover. This will be one of the first museums that we'll look at, the Louvre, of course, and how massive it is. I've been there, and it's insane. So this is like a 3-lane road, and the museum goes all the way up here, all the way here, all the way back down. It's insanely large, largest museum in the world, and I believe most visited museum in the world. So we're going to talk about the Louvre and talk about some of the pieces that are there. The Mona Lisa, which she's shockingly small when you get in that room. And when you get into the museum, there are signs because, of course, everyone wants to see the Mona Lisa while you're there. That's why you're there. You might as well, right? And so there are signs. You can find her wherever you enter the museum. So just some more examples. Oldest piece that the museum has, roughly 9,000 years old. So that is lesson one, a deep dive into Impressionism and looking at some museums and having the kids kind of get excited about the artwork and Monet. The next week, we're going to talk about Edgar Degas. Maybe you know Edgar Degas, probably. If you see a painting of a ballerina or ballerinas, it's probably his painting. He is so well known for them. However, I didn't realize till a couple years ago that he also did landscapes. We know he did sculptures, so we're going to talk about that as well. So we talk about his life, and a lot of times these artists had to go through a lot of things, and especially the Impressionists. They started this painting, and because of the regimented painting that was happening before in the salons and art academies, they got ridiculed very much. They were not accepted. They got rejected from all of the art shows, but they kept doing what they wanted to do. And they kept pushing forward and kept painting. And I'm so glad they did, because it's like one of the most beautiful art movements that there is. So we learn about their lives and things that they've been through, and really good qualities that they have. And then we're going to look at Degas' art. So he painted in pastels. And so we're going to use soft pastels to mimic his painting. And one of the things we're going to look at is how the colors are layered. And you can see all this yellow green, but then you can see these little spots of teal poking through. And there's just a lot of like vibration with the colors, just in and out, and layers with them. So I'm going to talk about that and how beautiful these are. And then, because it's pastels, and I believe he worked on toned paper, at least for most of these, I've got some nice toned paper for your kids to work on. And they're going to use pastels, not oil pastels, regular pastels, to make these paintings. And then here's their guide that they can look off of. So again, they don't have to worry about the drawing of it. They're just painting on top. We call, if you're doing artwork with pastels or oil pastels, it's painting. I know, it's not because it's a liquid, but I'm not really sure why. But you do feel like you're painting. It's very similar to oil paint for me. It's the same thought process. So anyway, so they're going to use this as a guide. They're going to paint their beautiful artwork. And here's one that I did quickly. That one there. And then they get to put their frames on it. And this week also, we're going to start talking about museum layouts. And after this week, they can start working on their actual museum building of it. We're going to talk about thinking about flow, how they want their visitors to walk around their museum, how other museums do it. There are some options there, and what you can use to guide people through the museum. What kind of experience do you want your visitors to have? Do you want them, what do you want them to feel? Do you want it to be a light and airy experience? Do you want it to be kind of like dark and mysterious? So that affects where you want to put your walls, how close you want to put your walls, things like that. And there's lots of things, again, that you can use, like these pedestals, display cases, and freestanding walls and things like that you can use to guide your visitors. And then how do you want it to feel? So we talk about all these things, and then I have some really cool layouts of actual museums to kind of show them how some of these museums are laid out and what they could do. Of course, they don't have enough room to do this, but maybe, you know, they could do a section just to see, like, this is the central room, and they've got rooms off of this room, so they can do a loop. If you go in that room, go in the room, and then do a loop around because you've got a central room. And then because there's things in the middle and things on the walls, you get to see things in here as you go through. So there's a lot of thought that goes into creating these spaces. And then as far as the experience goes, do you want to tell a story with your exhibit? This one is actually a timeline. This is the Ford's Theater Museum. And when you start, You start with his inauguration, his first inauguration, and you go through the story of his presidency and then the conspiracy to assassinate him. So this is a journey of um, information and a story and an experience that the viewer will go through step by step. So you can do something like that with your museum. You can group artwork in all different ways. You know, this is Monet's work, this is Degas' work, or this is all landscapes, or, you know. So I'm just going to get them thinking about that and dreaming about what they want to do. So these handouts, I'm not going to show you all of them, but just examples so you can see everything else that we're going to be doing. Tiffany, you should know him by the Tiffany lamps. He was Impressionist, but also Art Nouveau, which came after Impressionism, which was very kind of like this style. It was very naturey and curly and curvy lines. And then after that, we get Art Deco, which is very angular. So he kind of goes into both categories, maybe more Art Nouveau than Impressionism, but he fits here. And I wanted to do something different. So I wanted us to do glass. So we're going to talk about Tiffany. He experimented a lot. He was just trying things, and he developed Favril, which is like a metallic glass. And he was just experimenting with different metals and elements to put in the glass. And he found this and became very famous for it, won many awards. So we're going to talk about the lamps a little bit, but mostly the windows. And we've got some beautiful windows and actually some mosaics here. And then we're going to use the Shrinky Dinks, which it will be this big. And then when you bake it, they'll go down to this size. So parents, if you're doing the online class, your child will do this part with me, and then I'll give you instructions on temperature and time and all that to bake them. And then your child will have some beautiful stained glass for their museum. Then we will talk about Vincent van Gogh, of course, Impressionist. And again, he was not widely accepted. He sold one painting in his lifetime, and now they're worth millions. So you just don't know. You know, you could be doing something that you love, and you might not receive any accolades or, hey, that's really beautiful. But he was painting because he loved it, and not really to sell, but just he couldn't not paint. So we're going to discuss his work. The next class is French ceramics. So around the Impressionist movement, not only affected the art, the paintings, but these movements tended to affect all types of art, the pottery, ceramics, jewelry, fashion. We're going to talk about fashion as well. So your kids are going to make some little pottery pieces. And then I think we're going to use the oil pastels on them because you can kind of smoosh them around and have some of these effects. So they're going to have fun with that. And then another museum, we're going to talk about the Philadelphia Museum of Art. They've got a courtyard in there. They've got a really nice Egyptian wing and medieval weaponry ring. So we'll talk about all of that so they can see another museum from around the world. Well, it's not too far from me. It's about 4-ish hours, but I guess my students in Florida, it's a bit of a trek. And then we will do a grouping of artists that do seascapes. I thought that would be really nice and kind of refreshing for the summer. So we've got Degas here, Monet, and then we've got a few other artists that we hadn't talked about yet, and we're going to enjoy some seascapes. And then this museum is the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. A little museum, but it's really beautiful. They have this gorgeous courtyard. And the thing I really like about it, it's the center of a very mysterious heist. I think there's a documentary on Netflix. Well, it used to be on Netflix anyway. I don't know if it's still there, but there was a theft, and they took a bunch of artwork, and it was never recovered. They can't understand where they went, how they got out. They know how they got in. They pose as police officers. But don't tell your kids at the end that we don't know what happened. So this is kind of intriguing. I like the mystery of these things. So anyway, we're going to talk about this museum, and I'm going to show them a lot more pictures of it. and talk about the heist. And then that brings me to Impressionist fashion. This is going to be week, well, this is 8. It's going to be week 7. Impressionism affected fashion. At this time, or just before, the color black stopped being only for mourning. So they started introducing black as a fashion statement. And then we also have these really light colors too. So we are going to, well, I'll just show you. We're going to make, oh, I don't have the thing. So we're going to take foil and crinkle it up and form a body form, kind of like the dress form. And then we're going to do the guys as well. I'm going to figure that out. That's my assignment. It's week 7. We got it. I got it. And then we're going to put clothes on them. We're going to make a little dress. And I have all this gorgeous fabric. I'll show you. So I matched kind of this coloring. So we've got some blacks and some little patterns so they can look tiny. And I did see some plaid shawls that they had, the ladies had. And I couldn't stop myself. So they're really, really pretty. I just wanted everyone to have fun making these things. I know of lots of men who are seamstresses. Seamstresses? Is that what they call them? Fashion designers. This is fun. This is fun. So the guys will also do this as well. And then I also got the green in this beautiful, like a viridian green. This lady's skirt, so pretty. This, I believe, is going to be on the base. It's going to cover the foil, kind of be the underneath the clothes. This will be a nice khaki for the men's pants, a nice stiff black for their coats, and then some white, creamy white that'll go with everything. So we've got all this gorgeous fabric, and we have some ribbon because we have to have ribbon. And then I thought it would be fun to have some more little frilly things. These are little fuzzy balls, and then some more frills for the dresses. So I think I went a little overboard with this, but I've been really excited about this because isn't this gorgeous? I love it. All right. So after fashion, I think we're going to look at the Met, because the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Met, did a show on Impressionist fashion and Impressionism. And there are a couple articles on that. So we're going to talk about the Met. I'm going to show the kids some of the pictures of the dresses and the men's clothing, and they have that top hats on display, as well as a lot of the paintings. And then our last lesson, okay, so I'm missing one page. Our last lesson is on Monet, again, because he often did a series on one subject, painted several times. He's done the haystacks, these, oh, I forget, there was another one. It's in the handout. But he painted this cathedral, the ruined cathedral, over 2 spring and summers, and painted it in fog, in morning, in noonlight, in the evening, sunrise, sunset, sunset and the shadows there. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to paint those as well. So the same sheets that I had for the other Monet pieces, we'll be doing the same thing with this and painting on them. Okay, now I want to show you everything that's going to be in the box, or if your child takes in-person classes, I'm going to show you everything that they're going to have access to. Okay, I'm going to put this somewhere. Okay, obviously you have these lovely frames. So I've got 2 kinds, the very ornate and the more understated. They're both lovely. So you'll get 20 of these, 10 of each style. We'll do that. And they will look so lovely. So you saw the museum that I made. So I'm going to give you all the foam board that you need. These will be your two, I think it's going to be two 9x11 that you'll get. You can either put them side by side or you can make a second story. And I'm going to have your walls all cut the right height, and then you will cut the lengths according to what your child wants, using the grid that I'm going to give you. And here's the beautiful part. So when you order, I'm going to switch my camera, so just give me a second. When you place an order online for the online class, you get to go into a page and pick out your colors. I have a ton of options. I have too many options. And you can pick your colors. And then based on your choices, I have some very special papers that I'm going to give you. Okay, just making sure I didn't need that, blew up. That I'm going to give you, so for some accent walls. And I have flooring choices. And I've printed them on label paper. So you will just peel this off and stick it on your floor. So I've got some really beautiful flooring choices. So just imagine with me, let's see, how beautiful your child's museums can be and elegant, you know? So I'm really excited to see how they turn out when they just choose their own colors and make it really nice and gorgeous. I'm going to show you real quick all the choices that your kiddo will be able to see. Give me just a second, let me find it. All right. Now I have to find the actual page. Here we go. All right. So you go to my website. Here's my homepage. It's right here. You can see it. And if your child is taking online classes, you come right here. Oh, wait, where is it? There we go. Where is it? Choose wall colors and flooring colors. So you go in here. Here's some pictures of museums. Your kids can just kind of get an idea of what they might want. And you check out. It's all free. This is just so I get an order. It's in writing what your child wants. So you have a lot of flooring choices, concrete, planks, and then wood of different shades. And then just look at all the beautiful shades of colors that your child can choose for their museum. Completely personalized. And I would say it's been really fun to see what the kids have chosen for their museum colors. Some really gorgeous choices. So that's what you get to do. Wait, did that? Yeah, that did. Okay. When I'm on the actual screen, I can't make sure that this looks good. All right. Let me go back to my camera. Okay, so we've got paper, flooring, beautiful frames, and the boards are already cut for you. Let me clear this so I don't mess it up with the other things I'm going to bring over. You have your fabric, you have everything for your other projects. Got glue dots. I'm going to give you a really nice set of oil pastels. I use these and I really like them a lot. So they work really, really well. I'll show you your kids how to blend them. Soft pastels for the Degas paintings. Colored pencils for your Shrinky Dinks. You're going to get some jumbo glue sticks because you're going to need them. And then a few of these air dry modeling clay so that you guys can make your French ceramics. And also, I was thinking too, you could make some pots or other things. Oh my goodness, I didn't share it. Let's start over. Okay, glue dots, beautiful oil pastels that I really love. Here's your soft pastels, obviously your pencils, the big glue sticks, and some modeling clay. So I was thinking too, in addition to doing the French ceramics, it'd be fun to make some pots and things as decor in your museum. You can make a little potted plant or something like that. So you can use your clay for that. And then we have the Shrinky Dinks for your glass art. I feel like that's it. I don't see anything else over here. So I hope that gives you an idea of the full and deep extent of what these 8 weeks are going to be. Art education, you'll learn about the art movement, 8 artists, well, 8, several artists, and then like the fashion and the ceramics and the glass. And then your child will get all of these handouts, which I put over here, in a nice little binder with their name on it. And they will be able to look back through all of this beauty. So I'm so excited about it. It has taken so long to put this together, but I have enjoyed it so much, and so much learning. And I have tried to put so much quality and love into this. So I hope you enjoyed a very deep dive on what this class, this group of classes is going to be like. So if you are going to order online, if your child wants to take online, I'm shipping all these out hopefully tomorrow. We're getting really close on getting boxes to you before the class starts. The world will not end if you don't get the box on time. The classes are recorded, so if something happens, your child gets sick or you're traveling, you can watch recording at your convenience. And I'm always available for any help if you need anything. So if you have any questions, you can email me, you can message me, you can write it down here on the comments, and I would love to help you. So they start July 9th and they go on through the end of August. We have 8 classes, an hour long online, an hour and a half in person. And this is just going to be a full, rich experience for your kids. Hey, Shanika. Yeah. Yes. Yes, the original ones, they were these little tiny things. This is like a million times deeper. Yeah. We have the beautiful frames. You're not making them out of little wood pieces. So yes, it's like you're getting a major upgrade. I'm so glad to see you. All right, so I'm going to sign off. I would love to have your kids with me. Please sign up so I can share this with more kids. So you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you later. Bye.